Hey friends. So I've had an interesting couple of days. Uh, Had a really beautiful um, session, a really beautiful hang with my siblings last night, and it was kind of like bonus time. I didn't realize it was going to happen, and then all of a sudden it worked out that we just got an evening to really kind of go deep. And it was remarkable to me, both kind of how enjoyable the time was. I mean, I guess that it's always enjoyable, but it was. I think, in myself, a really stable and centered orientation that I haven't always felt, and I haven't always been able to hold on to in a family context. And that was, and it's one of these things where I have felt my in the past I've felt my own integrity kind of crumble, or just kind of creak a little bit. And I don't know, the word integrity might be strong, because I'm not talking about like doing anything horribly morally wrong. It's just there's for me the word integrity doesn't just mean have I done anything illegal or untoward. It just refers to the sense of poise that I carry, and whether I am able to maintain that poise is really it ends up being mostly about, can I feel a kind of centeredness and security in myself, and therefore expend more of my energy caring for other people, or, which is my sense of having integrity, or do boundaries start to, a lot of times it'll just be a simple boundary that collapses, and all of a sudden my own I'm all of a sudden my focus becomes directed at me and myself. I become self-absorbed, and then I'm self-absorbed, right? And then at that point it's kind of a losing battle. That's what I mean by the kind of creaking of integrity. It's like once that happens, then it becomes hard to put my focus outside myself, because it feels like I'm on the back foot. It's kind of like, I don't know, tennis match where you get behind or something. I don't know what the right metaphor is, but I felt the opposite of that yesterday. I felt a sense of, this is, just a sense of being willing and capable of caring in a way that represents my true inner stance, not just an idea, but where I actually am. And watching myself come into focus in that way was really really nice. Felt good. And the other thing that jumped out at me was how deep we were willing to go. And it wasn't all kind of heavy self-examination, family examination stuff, but it brushed up against some of our family patterns, and there was just a sense that everybody in the room was willing to hold their position and be available, be vulnerable, be generous and caring, and receive what everybody else was giving. It was a really, really good feeling. And so then today, I found myself, I made a mistake in my schedule, and I put a call from my coach in at the wrong time. And I saw what I did later. I caught it after I'd already missed the call. I figured out what I did in the invite process. But this had happened before. This had happened about a month and a half, 2 months ago. Before that, I missed a call from my coach, and when that kind of thing happens twice, it's like, whoa, what's going on? Why is this? How it feels significant. And I'm still processing that. But my takeaway, or my immediate impression so far, is that there's a difference between discipline and, for lack of a better word, rigor. Those are kind of arbitrarily chosen words. I just happen to associate different. This is largely based on my associations. Is what I'm saying. Where what I mean is, in discipline, to me, you can be disciplined about doing something really regularly, or about a practice in a way that's consistent, but not necessarily connected. And that's by no means intended to be construed as a definition of discipline. But rigor, to me, automatically implies a connection to purpose, an awareness of purpose, and a commitment to making forward movement in an intentional way. It's not just like, if I get up every morning and do a practice, which I've been pretty good about doing with a variety of practices, that's discipline. I'm consistent. But rigor means questioning consistently, whenever, as frequently as necessary, questioning the purpose of the practice and adjusting it accordingly, without really letting too much time go by before I reevaluate. In other words, you can fall into patterns of discipline that look really consistent and really might even look rigorous, but they look like discipline. But how reflective are they? How deep are they? And how much are they really an outgrowth of real availability to purpose? And for me, that the word I use to describe that place, that kind of integrity, is rigor. And when I missed my call today, and it feels a little bit like, it feels like a misstep. It feels like a mistake. Especially because it's the second one. A couple of months' time. It's not good. It felt like the message is, let's get a little more rigorous. And let's, as I approach the new year, I think I find myself willing to reckon with that a little bit, to get away from, and in a weird way, this is a culmination of a lot of what I've been uh, absorbing and integrating and talking about over the last couple of weeks, where I'm talking about the interruption is the practice, and embracing the kind of whatever the universe throws at me, and continuing to hew towards my intentions and my practices, but allowing myself to be sensitive, and allowing myself to absorb and to respond and adapt, not just plow ahead with my habitual way of being disciplined. In some ways, I feel like what I was coming through today, and what's kind of building up as an intention for the new year, is a sense that really getting rigorous in the sense of making sure I'm on track, making sure everything I'm doing is on track, and being more. There may be some practices that could promote that, sort of check-in points, times when I actually consciously reevaluate where I'm at with certain things. But it's clear that the kind of movement that I want to make requires rigor. Just being disciplined means I might get really, really good at something, but at the end of all that, find myself going, wait, why did I get, what's this for? And I think something about missing, my coach is really good about kind of staying in the center of the road, and pointing me down the center of the road. And so missing my second call in a couple months with her, it's a bit of a wake-up call, and it's a bit of an opportunity to kind of take this feeling of this doesn't feel good. I feel like I kind of slipped outside the lines, or fell off the tightrope, or whatever, and go, why did this happen? Why was clearly there was some resistance here, and what would it look like to eliminate that resistance, to really get rigorous, and to really find a way of regularly installing kind of an evaluative practice that considers where I'm going with all the different projects and all of the different elements in my life. And as I arrive there, that feels really good. That feels like a really good use of this wake-up call. So, got a couple more days before the new year starts, and I think I haven't even been doing this consciously, but maybe now I'll start doing it, taking some deliberate time to really map that out for myself, and install some of that, because I think I've had a beautiful year. I'm so grateful for my life. So grateful for my friends and family and students, clients. It's a beautiful, abundant life. And there's an imperative there in me saying, yeah, but you're not, you can go a lot further. You can take this a lot further, and you can really be even more courageous, be even more available, be even more truly wholehearted, all in. So it's the beginning of my resolution for 2023. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate you. Much, much love. I'll see you tomorrow.